Hey, what's up, you guys, and welcome to Nothing to See here. This is episode number 11 of the podcast, and I'm glad to be back. I'm going to try and get out as much content as I can physically and mentally, but it feels good to be back online. I want to start off this podcast by explaining where I've been, because there's a lot been going on this week, as you guys may or may not know. Every now and again when I'm working, or when I'm doing, videos on YouTube constantly, and, I'm always making videos and yada, 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 I will occasionally get really burnt out, and I hate getting burnt out. It's the worst feeling you could ever imagine, when you really just don't have any ideas of what to make anymore, and literally all you're doing is making gameplay videos, or just whatever you possibly can. Just so you know, I'm trying my hardest to make sure you guys have content. It's just work has been completely horrible and never ending, and I've been burnt out at the same time. So that's one of the reasons, and the other reason was I lost my cat. If you haven't followed me on Instagram or Twitter, my cat that I've had for I want to say maybe 17 years. He passed away maybe a little over a week ago, and that tore through my soul too. And I just didn't feel like uploading anything, and even though I probably should have, but I didn't. Anyway, we're gonna get into some stuff. Now at work, there's been a lot of crazy things going on. Let's start with last night. So last night, I accidentally got high at work. Now let me explain, because you're all going to look at me and go, what the hell were you thinking? Okay, so here's what happened. It was a short night. We weren't having a truck, so literally all I was going to do was face the store, fill the essays, and go home. And it was already about midnight when this occurred. All of my coworkers decided that they were going to go on a break. And I was like, well, I'm not going to go on break. I'm going to continue to work, because I want to get this done as quickly as possible so I can get home. Because my main plan was to come home and record some videos just to have some stuff ready. Just so I'll have some time off. So I was still working. So about an hour into working, I made it to, I think, about aisle 5. So I went outside to see what they were doing. It's been at least an hour, so I wanted to see if they were about ready to come in so they can help me finish. So I go outside, and they're all passing around this little vape pen. It's like a little, supposedly it's called a dab pen. I guess I'm so old mentally and physically that I guess I don't know what a dab pen is. But it was a pen that had like a little bit of weed in it. Now, I've smoked weed before. I've actually smoked like an actual blunt 2 different occasions, and it did literally nothing. So in my head, I'm thinking, oh, nothing's going to happen. It's going to be fine. So I take not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 hits of that bitch. Needless to say, I was completely useless for about 2 hours. It was a horrible, horrible feeling. And I was on aisle 5 working. I don't even know if I did any work whatsoever, because, I would be sitting there and then I would kind of black out and I would say random weird things. There is footage of this incident, by the way, but you'll never see it. You'll never see it. But it wasn't good. It was completely embarrassing, because all of my coworkers were laughing at me and making fun of me. I'm probably never going to hear the end of this. I bet when I go back into work tomorrow, I'm going to hear more about it. It was completely embarrassing. Like, that's just one of the weird things that happened at work. I'll even tell you this other story, the Ghost Kid story. Now, one night, I think this is a couple weeks ago. One night, it was like maybe 3 o'clock in the morning. This was on a truck night too. Me and one of the coworkers were on an aisle, and I kind of look up to where the front door is. And I see this little kid walk by. It was this little boy, blonde. I could describe him right now. Blonde hair, blue and white striped shirt, and he's kind of peeking in the window, and he kind of walks to the right. And I go, oh shit. My coworker goes, what? And I said, I saw a little kid. It was just at random. And then she looks up, and then she sees him. So we go out front, and he was already gone. Just disappeared like that. And the way the store is set up, he would have to walk at least a good, 30, 40 feet on either side before disappearing. So we were like, well, how'd he get out of there so quick? The next night, at about maybe 10:30, 11 o'clock, I saw him again. And this time I was close enough to see what he looked like. Again, he went to the right. He had no shoes on, had the same clothes on, and then he went back to the left. So I was already right by the door when that happened. So I opened the door and ran to the other door to look out. He was gone again. Boom, just like that. Completely gone. Just disappeared. Now, I was already freaked out by that point because I was like, how in the hell was he able to disappear so quick? Needless to say, as like the end of every Scooby-Doo story, when we find out who did it, right? It turns out it's not a ghost. It was actually a real kid. He comes up to the store late at night to buy sodas out of the soda machine, and then disappears into that little clothing store right next to us. But it freaked the hell out of me, let me tell you. I don't get spooked very often. Oh, I got another story to tell you. Oh, man. This also happened at work. You talk about me being spooked. I don't get spooked often, and this really spooked me. This happened, I want to say, a week or so after my birthday. I think it was like the second week of August. We had a guy come in and applied for the job at our work. It was our sixth guy. He told us his name was Pops. But that obviously was a fake name. He was an older gentleman. I think he was like maybe in his 60s or something. And he was acting so weird. He was acting like sick. He was like stumbling around and coughing and feeling lightheaded, he said. We even went back there, me and one of the coworkers, we went to the back and saw him sitting there. He's like, I'm feeling lightheaded. I'll be all right. He didn't even know what was wrong with him, right? And so we had to send him home. We're like, you're going to be a liability if we keep you here, So we got to send you home. He's like, well, I got nowhere to go. This dude didn't even have a house to live in. So I was like, okay, well, we pitched in and got him a motel, right? And one of our coworkers took him to the motel. So that was the end of it, right? Literally the next night, we come into work to find out that his family was looking for him. They end up finding out what motel he was staying at, and when they got to the motel, they went to his room and found him dead. Just like that. Spooked the hell out of me. I'm telling you, I don't get spooked often, but literally, they found him dead. So whatever he had killed him. I don't even think he knew what he had. Like he was coughing up black gunk in the bathroom. So whatever he had, it had already was shutting his body down. He just didn't know it. Or it could have been something else that I have no idea about. Either or, it spooked the hell out of me. But, yeah, there's that story. And I was spooked. Like, imagine if we kept him there at work. Imagine if we didn't send him home. Imagine if he just collapsed right there in the middle of the store. You think I was traumatized then? Imagine how traumatized I'd be now if that happened. Hell no. But anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about the album update. I told you last podcast that I was working on an album. And I still am. We're about 6 tracks in that are complete. I'm trying to get to at least maybe 13. But I'm taking my time on this record. And hopefully I'd have it done by the end of the year. But it's coming. I'm still working on the album. Got some bangers thus far. I haven't done any features yet. I think I'm going to do the features last. But I'm in conversations with a few people that might be featured on the album. Oh, and let's talk about one more thing. Or 2 more things, actually. Obviously, now that I'm back to YouTube, I'm trying to get back into making certain videos, this, that, and the third. I have not listened to the new Lorde album called Solar Power yet. But if you want me to listen to that album and give my honest review like I did with her 2 previous records, let me know. I definitely need to do that because the album came out yesterday. And I just haven't had time to get around to it. But yeah, I'm definitely going to do that. And I need to make more videos. Just if you have any video suggestions, please put them in the comments, because I'd love to hear what you would want to see. Also, I'm going to Days of the Dead, the convention, next week, on the 28th. And if you want me to vlog that, I will. So yeah. So there's a lot of stuff coming, but it's just going to take some time to get back into the groove again. I know I do this every time I say I'm getting back into the groove, I'm uploading more. It's really difficult, I'm telling you. If you saw what I had to deal with this past 2 weeks, you'd understand. But I just want to thank you guys for bearing with me for this long. I'm trying to get back into it, and just keep a steady flow. At least one upload a week. But I'm giving it my best. But I want to thank you guys for listening to this podcast. If you like this, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you want to follow me on my social medias, my Twitter is @ATVTaylor. That's at capital A, lowercase TV, capital T, lowercase AYLOR. If you want to follow me on my Instagram, that's lowercase Austin_Taylor TV. If you want to follow me on my TikTok, that's at lowercase ATV Studios. And if you want go to my merch store, I'll also put that in the link description below. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching and listening to my podcast. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.